Bob's Breakfast.
Good morning and welcome to a very important show. I'm so excited about this. You know that I've been banging on about our world record attempt for the best part of 2 weeks now. This all started 2 weeks ago when we found out that a kid in America had run away from home and had lived in a supermarket for 4 days, a 24-hour supermarket. Now, couple of things that have developed since then. First of all, it wasn't 4 days.
No, it wasn't.
How long was it, Amy?
2.5 days.
It was only 2.5 days. So, the world record for living in a 24-hour supermarket has been set at 2.5 days. That is so beatable.
It's easy.
I've said that if we find the right person, someone who has the right stuff, we can do it. We can put someone in a supermarket. They only have to live in a 24-hour supermarket locally for 3 days. We have a brave volunteer. He's come forward and he will be going into a local supermarket this morning before the end of this programme. We're getting a big response now to the idea of holding a pregnant bikini pageant.
I can't even believe you're still going with this.
I think, judging by the response we've had on Facebook and on Twitter and on the phone...
In fact, I thought a lot more women would be saying, no, I don't want to go near it.
Some pregnant women, like Kimberly, have said she would enter.
I know. I'm shocked.
John, what do you reckon? Pregnant bikini contest?
You're joking, isn't you?
No, I think it's a great idea. Celebration of women at their most beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not really into the look of pregnant women.
No, we don't mean in that kind of way.
It's creepy, isn't it? It's not right. It's something not right about it.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Got it. We could have a pregnant bikini pageant, and for the ladies, be a Gut and Speedos pageant.
No.
Be a Gut and Speedos pageant, following it up.
It's too early for
Be a
stuff
Gut
like
and
that.
Speedos pageant. As the curtain raiser to the pregnant bikini pageant.
And you can call it What Happens After Marriage?
Yes! We have a special guest this morning who is going to attempt to break a world record. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very, very good. You're an international man of mystery at this stage. But who knows? In just a few days' time, you could be world famous, my friend.
Oh, it feels good. I hope so.
Amy, just give us some background. How did you find Dan?
So Dan was just interested. We needed somebody to take part, and there were limited people.
This is living in a 24-hour supermarket for as long as possible without being caught by the supermarket or the police.
Yeah, without being caught.
Yes.
So we did phone I phoned a supermarket last week to ask for permission, because I thought we'll see what happens. And sadly, the supermarket said no. They said it's not something they would do due to health and safety.
Right.
So Dan, we're not telling them. We're not saying.
So you understand? Already, someone has said this is a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, I've got a few on my toes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So let's meet Dan. So, what experience have you got for this?
I've been watching a bit of Supermarket Sweep and Bear Grylls. I'm ready.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is a kind of a combination between Supermarket Sweep and something from Bear Grylls, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah. What do you do in life?
I do a little bit of demolition for a company.
All right.
And they've kindly given me the week off to attempt this.
Now, did you tell them why you needed the week off?
Man of Mystery doesn't give too much away.
Right, so what did you tell them then?
I said I'm involved in a publicity stunt for a radio show and I can't say too much right now.
Okay, right. Oh, it is a publicity stunt.
That's how I worded it.
Yeah, but it is also a scientific experiment.
Yes, it is.
Because when we heard about this kid in America that ran away and lived in a supermarket, I said the kid's a genius, because living in a supermarket's got to be the closest thing to utopia possible. You've got everything you need there. What do you think is going to be the hardest challenge then?
Social camouflage, blending in. But
social camouflage.
I like that.
It's what it's all about. We can help you out. We've got a fleece with the name... now, we've already selected, I'm not going to say where it is, but there is a supermarket in the south of England that we've selected. They know nothing. They know, and I know a lot of radio stations go like, oh, we didn't tell them, and they really did. Seriously, they know nothing. They have no idea.
We were too scared to ask in case they said no.
Well, we'd already been knocked back by that other one.
Yeah.
So this is a different chain to that other one.
Yeah.
But we do have a fleece from a former disgruntled employee.
Yeah, it was a guy called Jeff. His son used to work in a supermarket, and he gave us a fleece last week. He had his other clothes as well, but he'd thrown them out already.
But you know,
but he kept the fleece.
So if the heat really gets on, all you have to do is put the fleece on, and you'll look like you work there.
Yeah.
It's up to you how you use the fleece. You don't have to use it at all if you think that your social camouflage is working
might get
well.
involved in a bit of shelf stacking.
But brilliant idea. If
Have
the
you
security
worked
guard
in a supermarket before?
I can't say I have.
Oh, okay. But it's easy stacking shelves, yeah.
I've seen it done.
Right, now we're going to contact you regularly, so have you got all the communications devices that we need? What have you got?
I've got an iPad with my Twitter account. And
what is your Twitter account?
It's Supermarket Sly.
Supermarket Sly is how you follow on Twitter. Now that should be easy because we know that this particular supermarket does have Wi-Fi. So Supermarket Sly, if you want to follow Dan's progress. We also want to call you on the phone regularly. How's that going to work out? We got your number?
Yeah, you got my number.
Is your phone okay?
Yeah, phone's going to be fully charged.
Oh no, it's Twitter. You can text, but you can't call at the moment. You told me.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You can't call. What's up?
I broke my phone.
Well, okay. Wait a second. This is the first problem here. How did you break your phone?
Slacklining.
So you doing what?
Slacklining. It's a cross between trampolining and tightrope walking, and I fell off and smashed my phone on my hip.
Have you never seen slacklining? It's
No.
like being in the circus. It's amazing, and they put on this tightrope,
Yeah.
but the tightrope you can bounce up and down off, and it's like gymnastics on a tightrope.
Why were you doing that?
Just something I got involved in. It's extreme balance sport.
Extreme balance sport, and
This is a new thing, Greg.
to break phones, right? So it's broken your phone. So so we need to. Well, the
We need to be
supermarket.
able to phone you.
This is what I'm saying about the supermarket being such a genius idea. They sell phones. They sell everything. So first job will be to buy a phone.
I reckon.
Yeah, and then call us and give us the number. So now, we thought the world record was 4 days. Turns out this kid in America only lasted 2.5 days. That means, Dan, if you make it through 3 days, you have broken the world record.
On top of that, this kid had no money. So you can't go in with any money. You've got to go in completely bare.
Yeah. Now, when I say you're going to buy the phone, obviously you're going to get the phone, but until you take it out the cash register. So when you do eventually leave after you've broken the record, don't take the phone with you, because that will be shoplifting. If you go out with anything, you've got to make sure that it stays
Within the business,
supermarket, otherwise you've stolen it.
And we don't want you to steal things.
No, we want you to go in the supermarket. We don't want you to go to jail. In fact, we don't want anyone to go to jail.
No, we don't.
Okay, so it's a very dangerous thing. Dan will be going into a local supermarket later this morning.
Yeah.
And we'll be checking in with Dan during his progress as we attempt to break Bob FM's first world record. Bob. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Someone hasn't hung up here.
Hello?
You know. Someone hasn't hung up. And we're getting an insight. Can anyone recognise what that is? Or who that is? Does that cough?
Oh, sorry, put the phone down.
If you can name... Who is that? If you recognise that cough, give us a call. Play Name That Cough this morning on 01438 422 106.
Bob FM.
We've got an update coming up this morning on this story of lost love.
It's such a lovely story.
So-
Well, it could be. I originally thought it was a lovely story, but then there is an element of creepiness in it.
Oh, all right. Now, the story once again. This bloke who we think is called Sam.
Yes.
We got an email.
We
didn't
got an email from a girl called Sarah.
Right.
Who went to V Festival at the weekend, met a man called Sam. They basically partied around the Justin Timberlake. They had a good dance together. He was with his friend George, and then they went on to the silent disco. But from then, her battery ran out, so she couldn't get his number, and he didn't take her number, and they didn't see each other all weekend.
Right.
So Sarah emailed us saying, "'Cause Sam's from Hertfordshire, can we please help?
Yes.
Can we find Sam?"
Yeah.
So all we know is that he's called Sam, he's 25, he's 6'5", he's from Hertfordshire, and he's a dog trainer.
Or says he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say, if they met at Justin Timberlake and he's with his friend George, he's clearly gay, and that's why she hasn't heard from him.
If he's not gay, just Justin Timberlake isn't a gay one. He's not like...
No, I'm not saying Justin Timberlake's gay. I'm just saying he would have a large gay fan base.
I don't
Nothing
know
wrong
if
with
he
that.
would. Isn't he more... I thought he was supposed to be cool.
Anyway, we do have a development on this, and we'll be making... We can't say too much, but there has been a development, and we'll be making a call in less than an hour's time that could kind of bring some kind of resolution to this dilemma. Less than an hour to go before Dan goes in.
I'm getting nervous for him now. I'm starting to get a little bit worried.
Dan is going to attempt to live in a 24-hour supermarket in the home counties for as long as possible and break the world record that was set a couple of weeks ago by an American kid who ran away and lived in a 24-hour supermarket for a few days. Actually, we thought it was 4 days, only 2.5. So if Dan's in there for 3 days with no money, no permission from the supermarket, can he survive? All the food he'd ever need is in there, clothing, it's all there. Badger, you're a little bit worried, though.
If he's not paying for any of the food, you're encouraging everyone and his dog to go in there and have their free lunch and everything.
How am I encouraging people to do that? How's that working?
Well, because they're hearing it on the radio.
Yeah, but they don't
legal,
do. You know,
so they're going to just stroll in there and.
I'm not saying it's legal, Badger. I'm just saying this is how he's going to survive in there.
Yeah, I hope you're not dropping yourself in it.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I like working here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Cheers, Badger.
We're not doing anything wrong, are we?
I hope not.
Bob's Breakfast with Hatfield House.
Very, very sad news this morning. The death of Robin Williams. We can cross now live to Beverly Hills. Showbiz reporter from Parade. She's also very familiar to American TV viewers on Entertainment Tonight. Jeanne Wolf, welcome to the programme.
Thank you. Oh, what a sad, sad day. You know how it is in the newsrooms when news like this comes across. First thing on everybody's mind is, how am I going to get the story together? Where's the tape? Today there were tears in the newsroom. There were tears. People, Robin Williams dying came as a complete surprise, a shock. We use that word too much because this was more shocking than anything that's happened in a long time.
When was the last time you saw Robin?
I saw him a couple months ago on the fantastic set of The Crazy Ones, the TV series he did with Sarah Michelle Gellar. And he seemed in very great spirits. He seemed fine and funny and sincere and happy on his show. They didn't know then that the show would be canceled, but I don't think the cancellation of that show was so devastating to him. He seemed to love working with the young actors he was working with. He loved the fact that it had become more of an ensemble show. Look, Robin Williams was one of the sweetest people I ever met. He was way out there. He'd stop at nothing with his comedy, but I never heard him once be mean.
And what's the reaction been like from the rest of Hollywood?
It's just heartbreaking. They're taking this so personally. If you ever met Robin, you feel hugged by him, even if he didn't put his arms around you. You feel embraced by him. He was. He always told me that his biggest motivation in life was to connect. And he did create that connection. He could be in a stadium telling jokes, and you'd think he was talking to you. He had a warmth and an openness and a sensitivity about him and a craziness about him that was just like nobody else.
Jeanne, he looked like a fabulous father, and he made a tribute when Christopher Reeve died. He made a really heartwarming tribute to him. I hope that everybody's going to be rallying around his family now and looking after them at this horrible time.
Yes, he did take care of Christopher Reeve and his family, and I think Robin was surrounded by people who loved him. His wife saw him a couple hours before they found him dead. So when you're in a serious, deep depression, you can't see hope, you can't take in love. It is a much more dire condition than those of us who haven't lived it can understand.
What will his legacy be, Jeanne?
I think his legacy will be, of course, Mork and Mindy and Mrs. Doubtfire and Good Morning Vietnam and Dead Poets Society and Aladdin, all the movies and the TV that he created. But I think the people who will be most impacted are people who met him in person. if you worked with him on a set, every sound man, every lighting man that ever met him just loved him. You know, didn't just care for him, loved him. And if you ever met him in person, whether you went to interview him, he was right in the room with you. And I interviewed him many times, very seriously, but he would never let me leave the room without completely cracking me up. You know, I'd have to be doubled over in laughter until the interview would end.
Jeanne Wolf, showbiz reporter from Parade.com in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
All right.
Good to talk to you again, Jeanne. Thank you. We have a romantic emergency on our hands. You may have heard us talking about Sarah. She went to the V Festival, Amy.
She did, yes, and she is from Bournemouth, and she went to V Festival, danced at Justin Timberlake's section, met a guy, and wants our help finding him, because he's from Hertfordshire. Okay,
well, Sarah is on the phone. Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
So tell me what happened. You're watching Justin Timberlake at the V Festival, and you start, talking to this other fella?
Yeah, well, I think I danced into him. And
you danced into him, yeah?
I danced into him, yeah. And then we got talking from there. Ended up both losing all our phones, so we kind of hung around together, went to the silent disco. And then, yeah, I just forgot to take his details, and I went back to his tent the next day, but he wasn't there.
Oh.
So, yeah, just want to find him, really, because he was quite cute.
Oh. And how far did the relationship go?
Not very far.
Oh, okay. All right. But clearly you would like it to go further?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got to find this bloke.
It's very brave of you to contact us trying to find him.
I know.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was.
What did you like about him?
He was just really funny. Like, we had a lot of, banter. We got on really well. Yeah.
Okay, so what have we got to work on, then? His name?
His name's Sam.
Sam, yeah.
That.
Yeah, and...
He's 6'5".
6'5"?
Oh, so you like them tall?
Yeah.
Is he good build?
Yeah.
What colour hair?
Like a blondie coloured hair.
Now, what does he do for a living?
He was... I don't know if he was lying, but he told me he was a dog trainer.
That would be a good lie, because girls like blokes who work with animals.
Yeah.
Okay,
I hope he's not lying, because he sounds like a dream guy.
Yeah. Okay, and whereabouts does he live, did he say?
No,
just Hertfordshire. He was that vague.
It's that vague.
Okay, well, somebody must work with him or know him. He must have talked about Sarah, who he met at the V Festival.
And he had a friend with him, didn't he, Sarah, called George?
Yeah, his friend was called George.
George, maybe George is listening. Maybe Sam's listening.
Sarah Graham thinks he's gay. Are you sure he's not? I don't think he is, but because he was at Justin Timberlake.
He was Justin Timberlake, he was with his friend called George.
I'm sure he's not gay.
Oh, okay.
You are sure?
I want to find him, because Sarah, you sound really lovely. She does sound really nice. And even if we can't find him, I feel like I want to find someone for you.
All right, Sarah, we'll do our best. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, looks like we've got a bit of a caper here. If you can help us out with this, give us any more information as we try and track down this mysterious Sam. 01438 422 106. Well, the time has come to bid farewell to Dan, who is leaving the studio now and heading to a supermarket. And we are not going to say which one.
Before you go, I've got the fleece for you.
Okay, now this was Jeff, whose son worked in a supermarket. There is a brand name, please don't say it, of the supermarket chain on the fleece. This may help you out. You can use it if you think the heat's on.
You can be a chameleon.
Your goal is to live in a 24-hour supermarket for as long as possible without being caught. The supermarket has no idea we're doing this. You may need the fleece just to, blend in. What did you call it? Social camouflage. I like that. Are you confident, Dan?
Yeah, I got my poker face too.
Oh, poker face. Right, okay.
Good luck, Dan.
Thank you very much.
We may never see you again.
Cara Delevingne could be the next Bond girl.
Who's Cara Delevingne?
She's a famous model. She's like the new #1 supermodel that everyone's looking after.
Except
loving.
Me. Except me.
You, yeah.
Why? So she's famous for what?
She's only 21. She's just famous for being a model.
She's famous, okay.
For looking beautiful.
Can she act?
I don't know. I think that's a massive role, though, to take on, isn't it? If you're just a model, I mean,
it's not a massive role. Here's the acting required to be a Bond girl. Oh, James. That's it. We are trying to put two lovebirds together.
Such a lovely story.
We got an email originally from Sarah, but we've just spoken to her on the phone. We tracked her down. She's from Bournemouth, but she went to the V Festival. I met a bloke from Hertfordshire. His name is Sam. She didn't have his details. She says he trains dogs. He was with a bloke called George.
Yeah, he's 25. He is 6'5". He seems like a nice guy. It's really hard to meet people, I think, these days. With all the social media that you've got, and the Twitter and the Facebook, and you'd think it was easier, but actually it's harder. So I think when you find someone that you really like, I love the old-fashioned way about it. She wants to meet him again.
I mean, there is a chance he's gay or married. We don't know.
I doubt
we need to investigate that this morning.
Very rarely are there guys that are married under the age of 30 these days.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. See if we can track him down.
Because she sounds really nice.
Oh, I hope
and
so.
I tell
I
you,
hope it all
if
works
he is,
out.
I'm going to have some words for him. Definitely, for leading her on.
If it all works out, they will end up with a great meeting story. So where'd you guys meet? Well, you see, we were at the V Festival and Justin Timberlake, and then I sent an email to a radio station, and then they found him, and what?
I love
Great
their
meeting story.
It's much better than my meeting story.
Your meeting
You
story?
liked my meeting story, but now it's not as fun as that. I mean, I might need to change mine.
In case, let me see if I can condense how Amy met Dean. So Amy is moving to Hertfordshire to work at Bob FM. She goes looking for a flat. She finds a landlord.
Would you want me to carry on? His name is Dean.
I've tried to be sensitive here. How do you sensitively say Amy was knocking off the landlord?
No,
how do you say that?
It's not
how do you
like
say
that.
that? Really, that's what I'm thinking.
No, that's not how it happened.
That is how you met.
It's not how it happened.
Amy, thank you very much for the refill on the coffee, but I noticed you took my cup and your cup out there to do the refill, and
Yes.
they're both Bob FM mugs.
Yes, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Why?
Well, I think we should not have the same mug, because for all I know, you've refilled this cup in the mug you were drinking out of.
There's 10 Bob FM cups in the cupboard out there. They're all the same.
I know.
I'm not looking at
but
what?
this.
What's the problem?
2 words. Girl germs. Carolyn's on the line. Morning, Carolyn.
Good morning.
You think you might be able to help us?
I do believe that I know Sam.
No way. How do you know him?
So I was listening yesterday and I heard obviously your plea on
Yes.
the radio.
Yeah.
And I thought, 6'5". I know a guy who's 6'5". His name's Sam. I think he's 25. And I had to text my friend, who is a friend of a friend.
Yes.
So I texted my friend Nia, and said, your mate, Sam, who's 6'5", 25, did he go to the V Festival? Pretty swiftly, she came back with, yes, he did go to the V Festival. So I was like, oh my God, this has to be our
Oh, no way.
And in fact, I'm now on the phone to you.
Okay. Now, can I ask you, do you happen to know if he's gay?
I believe he's not gay.
Ooh, because that was my worry.
See, I was worried that he was married and got kids.
Could he be married? Have you heard any rumours about that?
Don't believe he's married.
Looking good, looking good. Now, you say it was your friend. Who's your friend?
My friend is Nia.
Right, and she works with him.
does
Is he a
work with
dog trainer?
I couldn't confirm or deny.
I think there's a little white lie there. I think the part of this he doesn't. What kind of business is Nia in?
She works for Sodexo in Stevenage.
What's that?
Sodexo, so the catering company. I think they do worldwide catering.
Right, okay. And she works with a bloke called Sam who fits this description.
There aren't that many 6'5" guys around, are there?
Exactly.
I just hope he's nice, Carolyn.
Oh, from a few times I've met him, yeah, he's really lovely.
Okay. Now, would Nia have his details, do you think?
Yes, she would.
Oh, okay. Do you have Nia's details?
I do have Nia's details.
Not on the radio, but we want Nia's details. We're getting closer to tracking this down. nothing at work is also known as meetings. Because you have meetings and you have work. Meetings are not work. Meetings are talking about work.
Are we still on for 11:30 today?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
That's
wanted to make sure.
That one's important. If I call a meeting, it's important.
Yeah.
That is work. Right. So that doesn't count. Bad example. Well, it looks like this could be the call that changes a life. Sarah called up first. No, she sent an email first, didn't she?
She sent an email saying that she's looking for a guy called Sam who she met at the festival.
She just had some vague details, turns out.
Nothing. He's 25, he's 6'5", he lives somewhere in Hertfordshire but she doesn't know where. She met him at the festival. He's got a friend called George. I mean, that could be anybody.
But they met while they were watching Justin Timberlake. There's a really good chance, and he's got a friend called George, that he's actually just gay. And that's why she didn't get the details.
It could be, but I don't think... He can't be gay. No,
well, it'd be embarrassing if that's the reason, and we end up calling him.
Or if he's married with children.
Well, we've been sending, thanks to Nia, who gave us, she reckons she's pretty sure this is him. This is the same bloke that we've been on about for a couple of days.
Yeah, she's given us a number.
Hello?
Hello, is that Sam?
It is, yes.
Sam, it's Graham Mack and Amy Stevenson from Bob FM. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Bit random and surprising.
A bit random and surprising.
Just a tad, yeah.
How was the V Festival?
It was really, really good, mate. Really
good. You enjoy...
bit of a come down.
You enjoy Justin Timberlake?
He was very good live, yeah.
Very good live. Can I ask you a couple of personal questions?
Depends how personal they are.
Okay, are you gay?
No, I'm definitely not gay.
I told you wouldn't be gay.
Are you married?
I'm not married, no.
Are you in a stable relationship?
I'm not currently, no.
So you would be young, free and single?
Yeah.
Now you hesitated then for a minute.
Now, when you were at the V Festival...
Yeah.
I know when you were watching Justin Timberlake...
Yeah.
That you got chatting to someone.
I did.
Yeah, can you remember her name?
Oh God, on the spot.
Oh, this is not good.
Sam,
not
Sarah,
good.
was it Sarah?
Sarah, well done,
Yeah.
Sarah. What happened with you and Sarah?
We had a little dance, a little chat.
Hmm.
A bit of a laugh.
Hmm.
That was about it, really.
No, I thought it moved on to the silent disco.
Yes, we did. Oh God, I can't even remember this.
You
yes, we
don't
did.
see.
It's all coming back to me now.
Her name is vague, and you don't remember what happened. What did you think?
I do now remember going to the silent disco.
Right. Did anything go on there?
We sort of bopped around to different channels, which made it slightly awkward.
Because you have to wear those headphones, so it must be difficult to talk to each other.
Was the kissing involved?
I don't think there was, actually.
I don't think. You're not sure?
Well,
it really makes me sound really bad because I really can't remember.
Okay,
dear.
so Sam, are you a nice guy? I need to get these facts right. You know, are you a cheater?
I'm a nice guy.
No, are you a cheater?
I'm not. No.
No, good. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, brilliant. And what's the longest relationship you've been in?
Goodness me.
Not long.
Not long.
Okay. Are we talking years or weeks or days?
Months.
Oh, longest has been months. And what do you put that down to? Personal hygiene problem?
Well, I hope not.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay, enough about Sarah.
I just want to check.
Enough about
Sam
Sarah.
would be good.
Tell me about Sarah.
She's short.
Mm-hmm.
She's quite short.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember red lipstick.
That's the power
only
lipstick.
Seeing it on her, not
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she had a Pringle baseball cap on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And overall, was she easy on the eye?
Yes, she was, yes.
No, there's no hesitation there. In fact, of all of the things we've asked him, that's been the one he's been most sure of. Now, what's the matter with you, Sam? So you find someone, you have a lot in common, you have a good time together, you don't get a blinking phone number.
I know.
What's the matter with you?
I don't think I could really talk, come the end of the night or the morning after.
You couldn't talk? Well, what kind of state were you in?
It's just a lot of drink throughout the day.
Right. So it looks like she goes for drunken men.
Yeah.
Because she's been in contact with us.
She put a plea on the radio.
It was a cry for help, yes. It was a cry for help. She wants to find this long-lost Prince Charming who disappeared into the night. And probably threw up somewhere by the sounds of it.
Yeah, probably.
We have Sarah's details.
Okay.
Why should we give them to you?
Oh, God. I would, to be fair, like to get back in contact with her.
Yeah. Just because you'd like it, why should we give it?
This could be the start of, like, a love story.
You like her, you wanna hug her, you wanna kiss her.
You guys could have, like, front row seats at the wedding and all sorts.
A wedding?
Wedding? He's talking wedding now? He could barely remember her.
Know.
He could...
You never know.
I think I've got an even better idea. I don't want to give Sam her number.
Okay.
I would like Sarah to come in here.
Yes.
And I would like Sam to come in here and meet us in the studio.
You mean a blind date?
We will kind of, but it is blind for Sam because he was so drunk.
He was blind drunk date.
Yeah. And we'll set you off on a date.
On a date?
Yeah.
On a date?
Yeah. And
I like the way you think. We've got lots of
proper
people.
Date.
Yeah, no, we've got restaurants. We've got we could put them on a date.
We could.
And see how this goes.
We can go for a nice romantic meal.
So were you up for that, Sam?
I'm not too sure.
Why not? What's not to like? What's the problem? You said you liked her? You want to see her again?
Yeah.
We'll pay for everything.
Oh God. What? I suppose I'd have to say yes.
Yay!
We'll be in touch, Sam. Thank you very much.
You're not going to let me not.
This is true love.
It's Graham Mack, Amy Stevenson, and Chris Hubbard has your news.
Remember that pregnant panda we talked about at Edinburgh Zoo recently?
Pandas. Honest to goodness, I'm fed up with the blinking pandas. First of all, the panda was never pregnant in the first place. It just sold more zoo tickets.
No, but we heard that.
Oh, yes, the panda wasn't pregnant. If the panda was pregnant, this was 2 years ago. If the panda was pregnant, it would have had a baby panda by now.
Pregnant by itself?
No, they did put another panda in there.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah, and then they showed it some panda porn, and
yeah,
they did.
Plays romantic music.
I am not making that up.
Yeah, you have to be.
I'm not. They thought the pandas aren't doing it because they need to sell more tickets to the zoo because they need to give more money to China. Because don't get me started on that. All pandas are owned by China. If you have a baby panda, it's owned by China, and you have to pay a lease, and it's millions. The zoo in Edinburgh pays millions to China to rent the pandas and then has to pay for all the food and the special enclosure and everything. China is making a fortune out of these blinking non-pregnant pandas. Anyway, they wanted China to have another panda so they could sell more zoo tickets. So they put another panda in there, and the other panda, they're both like captive pandas. They don't know what they're doing. One panda's looking at the other one and going, what do we do now? And the other one goes, I don't know. Well, did anyone tell you what goes where and why? No, I just don't know what I do. So then they wheel in a TV and show them panda porn, and then all of a sudden one of them goes, what do you think? And I don't know. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if you'd got to adulthood and you didn't know how it worked and somebody told you? You'd go, no.
Bob's Breakfast.
Sarah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good.
Now, you just heard him on the radio. Do you still fancy him after that?
Well, maybe.
Oh, you're going off him?
I'm joking, yeah, I do.
Oh, because he did sound a bit dopey.
I think he was shocked.
You think?
I think, yeah.
We did put him on a spot, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
how do you feel now that we found him?
I don't know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? I wasn't expecting you to find him.
Why not? We always get our man.
We pulled out all the stops for you.
Yeah, 2 days it took us, that's all, and we got him.
Well done.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, now what we've got to do, we've got to really put you together, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, he agreed to a date, Sarah.
I know.
Would you like to go on a date with him?
Yeah, why not?
Ooh, okay, so do we know what we
So,
can
no,
arrange?
we need to... we'll sort all that out for you. We need to find somewhere to take you on a date. First of all, we need you to come up to Hertfordshire.
Yeah, because I know
you're in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a long way. I mean, long-distance relationships, it's not that far. It only takes 2 hours. You will be fine. So, yeah, if you can come up here, then you can meet again.
I mean, Amy's talking from experience. She comes from down that way and she's shacked up with a local bloke, so it happens all the time.
They're really nice up here, Sarah. They know how to treat a woman, yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll be in touch and we'll follow this through.
Okay.
Okay. She sounds more nervous than him. It's Graham Mack and Chris Hubbard. How's your news?
A British man who caught the Ebola virus in Sierra Leone has arrived in the UK on an RAF jet. The theme's reminiscent of something out of the movie E.T.
So he comes out of it. What do you mean it's like E.T.?
He's landed into a specialist RAF base. So he's landed in at RAF Northolt near Heathrow, on board a specially equipped isolation plane. So he's basically in an isolation chamber,
right,
being wheeled across the runway over at RAF Northolt. And the people surrounding him, they've all got masks on. He's surrounded by various plastic screens. He doesn't get out of this before he's then transported onto an ambulance. I mean, the scenes were just incredible. They were movie-like.
And don't the media love a pandemic?
Oh, completely.
But we've managed to survive the Mexican swine flu, the bird flu, and all kinds of other things. It was rabies in the 70s,
weren't we? We were meant to get something from bean sprouts.
Were we?
Yeah, it's
now, obviously, you know, there's a tragedy happening in Africa. This is just a horrible thing. But it's worth putting it into perspective that the death toll from British people who've contracted Ebola in Britain still stands at 0. Zero. Nobody's contracted this thing. And other people who've contracted it in Africa have survived. Like that American guy that they shipped home to America. You know, it is a survivable thing. It's not a death sentence if you get the right treatment and the right care and you're strong and reasonably healthy when you get it.
Well, despite what I've just described, the fact that people were wearing protective suits, he was in this isolation chamber, he said not to be seriously unwell. So,
right. You know, you gotta put it into perspective. And also, the number of people that have been killed in Africa by Ebola in the last 3 months is fewer than the number of people that have been killed in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in the last 3 weeks. Just to put things in perspective. Ebola killed all of those people in Africa, and we don't have Ebola here. Religion killed all of those people in Israel, and we do have religion here. It all started yesterday, innocently enough, with a world record attempt. We'd heard that a couple of weeks ago, a runaway in America had lived in a 24-hour supermarket. For what we thought originally was 4 days, turned out to be only 2.5 days. When we heard that, we knew that we could beat that record. A volunteer, Dan, the mystery man.
Supermarket Sly.
He came forward and reckoned he could live in a 24-hour supermarket for 3 days, become the world record holder, become internationally famous, and put Bob FM well and truly on the broadcasting map. Just before 9 o'clock yesterday, he went into that other world, a world where everything you could possibly want is at your fingertips. And things were going really well. He was tweeting.
He was tweeting regularly every hour. He was full of hope. He was excited. It was a bit of a game. He had a game plan when he went in there, and I think that was going well.
So yesterday lunchtime, we went down to see him. He was in good spirits, full of hope. You'd see it in his eyes. Then something happened in the middle of the night, and we lost contact. The tweets stopped. We can't get him on his phone, which he managed to get from the supermarket. It's just one of the things you can get when you're in. We don't know where he is. Quite honestly, I hate to say this, but we don't know if he's dead or alive.
You can't say it. That's horrible. I just can't think of that. I just want to find him now.
John's on the phone. John's a postman. Now, John might be able to help us because we can't contact the police on this in case the police have him. And then it gives the game away that we are accessories to whatever crime they say he's committed to arrest him. But your postmen, they get around everywhere. In fact, I reckon there are probably more postmen on the streets right now than there are police.
Not only that, but they get to see a lot of things.
They get to see a lot of things. They know what's really going on. They're a secret force. John, do you reckon you could mobilise the postmen of the home counties to find Dan for us this morning?
I doubt it. They all want to rush around and get home today.
Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it?
What does he look like?
Well, he's a big bloke. I don't know. Chiseled features, would you say?
Chiseled.
Yeah, he's got...
He didn't leave... Something didn't do him with a reduced gun, did they? The old chaps might have bought him.
I don't think he's been sold. What? Think he's been sold into slavery somehow?
You've seen the advert?
Which advert's this?
The slavery advert. The one that's on telly that tells you it goes on over here.
Really? I haven't seen that. So there are adverts on the TV looking out for people who are being sold into slavery?
Yes.
Generally they're women, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. There's some ugly women out there.
Oh.
He would make a rubbish woman.
Yeah, would he?
Yeah.
A chiseled woman.
Yeah.
But he's big enough.
Jack Palance in a dress.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? He could have slipped into the freezer section.
Oh, we're talking... What, you think he may have had an accident of some kind and
pushed him in there?
Oh!
Yeah. Bob's Breakfast with Hatfield House.
Alistair Darling and Alex Salmond go head-to-head again tonight with the second TV debate on Scottish independence. Scotland's First Minister and the leader of the Better Together campaign are likely to clash on whether Scotland can keep the pound after independence. Mr Darling is clear on the issue.
Alex Salmond doesn't know what his plan B is, or else he's not telling us. We need to know what currency we'll be using, what the money in our pocket would be worth, and we need to know what plan B is. He says he's got options, but he won't tell us.
That's the latest from the Bob FM newsroom. More at 9.
Thanks a lot, Chris. This is amazing, isn't it, this? We want independence, but we want to keep the pound. They don't. They don't want to keep the pound, and they can't keep the pound, and if they go independent, they won't keep the pound. But there is an elephant in the room that they can't say its name. They dare not speak its name. If they speak its name, they will not get independence.
Right.
The euro. That's obviously where they would go.
Not been mentioned,
no, it's not been mentioned, but that's where you'd go. If you want independence, the most obvious currency to go with would be the euro. It would be the most obvious currency. But they can't say the word the euro because everyone would go, no way, it's toxic. So it's so funny how they're dancing around it. And I bet tonight it's not even brought up at the debate. They dare not speak its name. He was in good spirits yesterday. We went down to visit him in the cafe area of the supermarket. Now, we had to be very careful. I recorded this on my iPhone, but we had to look like we weren't recording. So this is what it sounded like when we caught up with him. This is the last time we saw him. Okay, so we've... what we've got to do is we've got to make out that we're just having a chat here. In the coffee bar. We're in.
Over the phone.
I know, because I want it to sound good.
Put it on the table.
Because we think on the next table to us is someone in charge. Yeah.
They look like the manager type, aren't they?
I think so. Amy, what have you just been earwigging and you've just picked something up? What's the matter?
The guys behind the counter were saying, oh, did you hear about, have you heard about that guy that's going into a supermarket? And what would you do if he came in here? And the girl said, oh, I don't know, what's his name? And the other guy said, oh, I don't know, I think his name's Liam or something, but, like, keep an eye out.
So our quest to make you world famous, Dan, it's backfired at this stage. That they know what you're up to, but they think you're called Leon.
Oh, right, because Lucky...
Liam?
Yeah.
Where'd they get that from?
Because Lucky, they asked me for a coffee this morning. I had to give them my name, and I blurted out my name, and I was like, oh, no. But
it's like that scene in The Great Escape where they go, good luck,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, so... it's looking alright so far. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tea time rush, and when it's busy, I'm gonna choose my little place and get myself comfy.
Talk us through your morning then. When you first got here, what did you work out?
It's pretty quiet, and I managed to get a phone, and then just felt like everybody was looking at me, and the security guard was fanning around me, and then it's just been spotting a few places, but it's not as easy as I thought, basically, but it's going to be a challenge.
What's going to be the hardest bit then?
I'm a pretty big bloke, so trying to get in a little hiding place is going to be quite difficult, I think.
We thought that this one had an upstairs, but it doesn't have an upstairs, so there's even less places for him to hide. And what happened when you were getting a coffee this morning? There were two guys in front of you.
There's two old boys mentioning have they heard about the guy in the show, and I thought it was all over straight away. But yeah, I don't think people know it's me yet, so...
They didn't realise.
Good luck, Dan.
Thanks, man. Look forward to it.
Oh, no.
It's kind of sad listening to that back now. That was the last time we saw him alive. Chris Hubbard, how's your news?
This morning, Boris Johnson's joined calls for British people fighting in places like Iraq and Syria to be stripped of their citizenship. So the Mayor of London has written in one of the newspapers saying those who travel to countries without telling the authorities should be presumed to be potential terrorists until they're proved innocent. He's saying doing nothing will mean a tide of terror will eventually lap at our own front door, as he puts it. It comes after very, very similar calls from senior Conservative David Davis and the former Archbishop of Canterbury, Lord Carey, as well. They also argued that law needs to be changed, though, that people returning from Iraq and Syria would have to prove they were not taking part in jihad or face prosecution. So tough calls from the Mayor of London there, and also saying...
It's a scary time.
It is.
It is a scary time because, everybody should be able to believe and worship whatever freaky nonsense religion they fancy without fear. You should be free to do that if you want to do that. That's what freedom is about. But when you want to impose your religious views and values on people who aren't into it, which is what this ISIS organisation, or whatever the latest name for them is, they're called, depending on which news channel you're watching at what time, they're given about 4 different names.
Yeah, they do change it, don't they?
Yeah.
Islamic State
or
sometimes.
Whatever. But, they're basically saying to people, convert or we will kill you, and they're executing people who don't convert. I know if it was me, I would pretend. Yeah, sure, I'll believe whatever freaky thing you want.
Oh, yeah, I'd be in exactly the same boat.
Yeah, but still... horrific what's happening, and they want to have a state in Iraq or whatever it is where everybody there believes this particular doctrine, this particular religion, which you can't force somebody to believe something. I mean, if it was real... here's what I think they should do. They should partition a big part of Iraq and say, there you go, that's yours. You can take it, you can live there, you can live under Sharia law or whatever thing that you want, under one condition. Anyone who doesn't want to live there can leave whenever they want. That's it.
Would they be happy with that, though?
Well, I don't know. Well, maybe they need to be forced. Maybe they could say, that's the deal.
Yeah.
If you don't accept that deal, we're going to bomb you off the face of the earth because you're bad news. Maybe I've oversimplified it. But that's the way it looks to me. Because that's the whole problem. I mean, you talk about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and people talk about the numbers. It's something like 2,000 Palestinians have been killed, and what was it, 60 or something Israelis have been killed, and they're like, the Israelis are the aggressors, and the Israelis are getting really bad press out of this, and it's bad PR for them. But the truth is, nobody in Israel wants to convert the Palestinians to Judaism. In fact, Israel, I met a bloke, Jewish guy, who went there, and he was amazed that most people he met were actually secular. It's not, it's a Jewish state, but it's not. They're free not to believe if they want.
Absolutely.
So the Israelis are not trying to get the people in Palestine to convert to Judaism, but is the same true for the other side? That's where the problems start. If you say you're free to believe and you're also free to not believe, away you go. There's no problem. It's when you try to force beliefs on other people, that's when it all starts to get crazy. So they should just say, here's a piece of Iraq for ISIS. This is yours. You can have whatever laws and whatever things you want to condone. All your anti-homosexual, anti-women, anti-freedom, whatever it is, there you go. You can have that under one condition. Anyone who doesn't want to live there is allowed to come and go as they please. And then that's it. Just let them get on with it. Graham Mack and Amy Stevenson, and we're still recovering from a spooky incident yesterday at Bob FM. Now, this radio station is in the middle of nowhere, on top of a small hill, surrounded by countryside and Gothic-type forest, in the grounds of the historic Nebworth House, which of course we all know is haunted. Anyway, from time to time we like to give young people the chance to join our Bob Squad. We're looking for enthusiastic people who are far from socially awkward. And yesterday, a chap came to be interviewed by you, Amy, to maybe join this elite team of promotional staff.
He did. He sounded like he had great experience. He had event experience, marketing, online, everything. He gets to the door.
Late. He's about an hour late.
He was
He's about
late.
an hour late.
He was late, yeah.
He comes in and he could easily have been... Was his last name Adams? Munster? He was, shall we say, Transylvanian looking?
Very much so.
Very much so,
yeah.
Yes. A bit like Brad Pitt in Interview with a Vampire, only with a freaky beard as well. A freaky beard.
It was one of those, it wasn't a normal beard though. It wasn't like a thick beard. As a guy, I imagine you shave every day and then it gets thicker and you grow it. It's like he'd never had a shave. And he just had like a little fluffy bit at the bottom, really long and straggly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was creepy. So anyway, you decide to take him into the little meeting room at the side here. And within seconds, they're screaming and you come storming out and there's a major kerfuffle because...
There was a bat in there.
A bat! A bat!
In that small little room.
A bat! A bat! What's that all about? I say, that bat flew out of his beard. We have lost contact with our hero. We don't know what to do now. We need your help. Any ideas, Badger?
You could contact the local police station, obviously, because I thought he'd end in tears. He's probably there.
You think he's... What makes you think he's at the police station?
Well, they've obviously arrested him for, some sort of shoplifting misdemeanor or something in store. If he's wearing clothes that he's borrowed from the store.
Yes.
He might have been arrested by the fashion police.
106 Bob FM.
The vampire bat that flew out of a guy's beard yesterday at Bob FM, it was dead on arrival. It died hit the deck, hit the floor dead. Lawrence got it out in a Tupperware and put it outside. It's gone this morning. It's come back to life. It's flown off. It's going to devour another victim. We should never have let that happen. We should have flushed it.
You can't flush it down the toilet.
It was dead. Toilet. That's where dead animals.
They're endangered. They are so protected.
It wasn't endangered. It was dead. It's too late to save it.
I know, but they're
protected. Beyond you can't. But dead things aren't protected.
I think they are. I think bats are. They're in a whole other world.
Not when they're dead. They're all a whole other world.
Yeah, to themselves. Yeah.
What?
Bats, you have to be... I have to look at the law on bats.
But
seriously.
It's dead. Once it's
Even
dead...
if it's dead, you still can't flush it.
Well, what did we do with it? We put it outside.
And let the nature take its course.
Yeah, which means it once the sun went down, then it came to life.
Wellstock is returning to Hertfordshire. It's a fiercely independent festival right on your doorstep. Wellstock is a 3-day event that showcases some of the finest new local and international artists around. And the aim is to raise money for leukemia and lymphoma research and also Keswick Mountain Rescue. This year's festival sees the fabulous Miss Dynamite headlining on Saturday night, with Ms Loppy closing the show on Sunday, as well as Chaz and his band from Chaz and Dave and many others. There's more than just live music as well, because there's a cinema tent, there's Teepee Town. You know what those teepee... Do you know what a teepee is?
I know, yeah, it's a thing that cleans your teeth.
No, that's a toothbrush.
No, there's a thing that cleans your teeth called a teepee.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. And then there's a thing that you have at festivals called a sheepie.
And what's that?
Oh, no, it's a shiwi.
What's a sheep? Oh, Graham.
No, but they're handy, aren't they?
They are not. No one actually uses those. Well, I don't know anyone that uses them.
They're a feminine adapter.
Yeah, they're to make you go to the toilet like a boy.
They're a feminine adapter that ladies can use to stand at the gents with loads of blokes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they've got them.
But a teepee is one of those really glamorous...
They haven't got the shiwi, have they?
They haven't got the shiwi, no. Right. I'm sure you can go and buy one if you want to go prepared along with your face wipes.
Nasty.
But a teepee is one of those really big... It's like glamping. It's a glamorous way of camping. So they're beautiful. They're huge. They're
Tell
like
that
big
to the
Indian
Native
tents.
Americans.
Well, they
invented it. It's their word, a
yes,
teepee.
It is, yes.
They didn't say, excuse me, bald eagle, what you got there? Well, it's a glamorous version of camping. There is no way he said that. There's no way that was just their dwelling.
Yeah, it was their home.
Yes.
But it's comfortable. They've got
I'm sure it is.
Beds in there. It's lovely.
Yes, they've got a whole town of them.
They've got loads. There's also stores.
Teepee Town.
Teepee Town.
Yes. Different to Shiwi Town. You don't want to go there.
No, you don't want to go Shiwi. No. Teepee Town. There's club nights and raves as well. There's basically loads going on. It's really easy to get to. You know, it's just by Wharton and Walken. So it's just down the road in Stevenage. Tickets are only £45 for the whole weekend. That includes camping. And there are family day tickets and VIP tickets still available. For more information, check out wilkstock.com.
The Shiwi would be an interesting experience, though, wouldn't it, for a lady who's not experienced the joy of the urinal experience?
Why? Everyone knows that it's not is it an enjoyable experience? What you're saying? Would I try one?
No, I'm not. Because I know you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You're not that kind of lady.
I'm not.
I'm just saying there are certain things that men are privileged to, that women are not privileged to, but with the right kind of adapted shiwi, they could enjoy as well.
They could.
You know, I'm thinking specifically of chasing the urinal cake along the thing. That's always good fun.
Bob belongs with O2 South Street, Bishop Stortford. Drop in for a demonstration of the latest smartphones and tablets.
Thanks a lot, Amy. They don't call them urinal cakes in Australia. You know what I'm on about?
Yes, the little round things that make it smell nice.
How do you know?
Because I've been in a gents.
Why?
The ladies' queue's always massive. When I'm desperate, you gotta go. You
go in the urinal?
Well, there's always there's always toilets there
Traps,
as well.
Trap. Well, how do you know about the urinal? You've just seen them in the urinal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, in Australia they have a different name for them, and I didn't know. As you know, I worked in air conditioning, and one of the places we used to look after was Five Dock RSL Club in Five Dock in Sydney. RSL clubs are like, well, it's Return Services League, so it's the equivalent of the British Legion, but they're more like a casino. They're a huge eating and drinking and gambling club. And one of the things we looked after with the air conditioning was the ventilation and the extractor fans for the toilets. And when I went there one day to do the maintenance, the main man there said to me, "Yeah, mate, you might want to have a look at the extractor fan in the gents' lavs." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think it's working. We've had to put extra trough lollies in there."
Oh.
Trough lollies. That's what they call urinal cakes. Trough lollies. But everything's lollies there. You got your trough lollies and... and sweets are known as lollies, even though they're not on sticks. And the kids, you know, at an outdoor event, they'll open a bag of sweets and get the kids to all, you know, going. It's called a lolly scramble.
Why don't they make nicer smelling trough lollies?
to stop people mistaking them for lollies at a lolly scramble, I'm guessing. We didn't even know if he was dead or alive. But I can give the good news this morning that Dan is here! Dan,
so relieved.
It's great to see you in one piece.
It's nice to be here with a coffee.
It sounds like you've had quite an adventure. Now, you've basically just come through the door. You do look slightly bedraggled, but I don't think you've ever been so well dressed. We have to say that the supermarket clothing is quite an improvement over that scabby T-shirt that you left here with yesterday. Okay, so take us through it. We last spoke to you when we were in the supermarket around about lunchtime in the cafe. I know the cafe closed at 4. Take us through what happened after we left.
Just kind of cruising around looking for places to hide, and just kind of blended in and picking up lots of stuff in my trolley and in my basket.
You had a trolley then, yeah?
I had a little go, yeah. Got to blend in.
Yeah.
And I'd
never thought about that. If you didn't have a trolley or a basket, you'd stand out in a supermarket, wouldn't you? That's good thinking.
Yeah. Got to blend in, and I'd kind of fill it up, and then I'd go back to where I got it from and empty it. So,
right,
because you can't just go leaving a trolley.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it keeps you occupied for a bit as well.
That's it.
Yeah, you must put some mileage on that trolley, though.
Yeah, and I think I wore my shoes out.
Right. So you kept moving. That was the plan. You thought, I'll keep moving harder to hit a moving target.
Yeah. And I didn't fancy hanging around in the toilet for too long, but only just to get changed.
Yeah.
Because notoriously unclean, those supermarket toilets.
Yeah.
And quite busy as well, so...
Right.
Yeah, the key is to keep moving, but...
Right.
But they're awfully well designed, these supermarkets. There's not many places to hide, and... and during the night, everyone...
Well, let's just get to that. Now, can you tell us, now that it's over, can you tell us what your plan was? Because the night time, that's the key, is where you're going to sleep, because you got to sleep. What was the plan going in?
It was to hide in the clothes section, obviously, use some clothes to keep myself warm, because supermarkets are really cold places.
Right, so you were going to, curl up in the coats or something?
I was going to just jump behind a rack and... just
then lay down on the floor?
Yeah, I did spot one place, but it was in the school uniform section. I didn't think that was the best idea.
What was that?
I don't know, it just seemed creepy.
Okay, but inappropriate. Yeah. Okay, yeah, right.
And
you don't have parents taking their kids round and then, Dan
finding a 6-foot bloke in there, yeah. All right, so we get down to the late hours.
You were struggling when you were tweeting, because I was reading your tweets, following them, and we tweeted each other a couple of times, and you looked like you had severe sleep deprivation.
Yeah, I'd walked a few miles, I reckon. I was really tired and I was just about to drop, so it was like I'd got to lay down soon, or...
Right. What was it with the last tweet? Why did it say it's now or never?
Because it was a case of if I don't get some sleep soon...
Right, okay, you see I had to...
plus... It was just getting a bit on top. Everyone was looking at me.
Right.
And I just felt like I was going to get busted.
Right, okay. So you eventually found somewhere to sleep?
Yeah, the quietest place was just the entrance to the store. There was a load of seasonal charcoal on crates. Yeah,
right.
Big crates of charcoal, and I just literally pulled a hop, skip and jump over those and jumped down the back. And
down the back of the big racks?
Yeah.
And then where was the charcoal? In front of you?
Yeah, it was just in front of me, and it was just in the entrance. I jumped over there, and I was so tired. It was pretty comfortable, despite being a concrete floor.
Right.
Yeah, just started.
That must have been freezing.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly last night.
And then what happened?
I got some sleep.
Right, excellent. About how long do you reckon?
I'm not sure. It's quite a while. Definitely over an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then somebody popped their head over and asked me if I was all right. And when I looked up, there was no one there, and I thought I was dreaming.
Right. And then what?
And then security turned up.
Did they?
Yeah.
And what they have to say?
There was kind of a good cop, bad cop thing going on.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, like the young guy was like, he must have found it quite funny, but the old guy was taking it very seriously. So...
Right, and you were sprung?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so did you say anything you did your defence? Do you have a cover story or anything? What were you wearing at this stage? Because you were a master of disguises.
I had all my clothes on at this stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I was pretty cold, and I'd literally get all my clothes on just to try and stay warm.
Right, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, he was... I think they thought I was a homeless guy at one point.
Right. So then they what? They frog marched you out?
No, they said, you've got to go, and I said, look, I'm off. I'm leaving peacefully, no problems.
Right, okay. You did the right thing.
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah.
now you stood outside this... Why didn't we get a phone call from you?
My batteries had died, and I was out of internet kind of range.
Right.
So I literally had nothing.
To contact... You had no money and no way to contact the outside world, and you stood outside a supermarket.
Yeah.
Which is, we know, is a long way from here. So how did you get to where we are at Nebworth House this morning?
I did a bit more walking.
You walked?
Yeah, it's the only kind of thing I didn't find... Well,
you walked all the way?
All that way?
Yeah, I kind of... Yeah,
you didn't think to hitchhike?
I've tried hitchhiking before, and being quite a tall bloke, not many people pick me up.
Yeah, it's also fraught with danger.
I feel awful.
Why?
Because I'm just looking at you. You look absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, I think I've got a man cold as well.
Man cold? It's maybe not in the supermarket. I bet they'd have something for that.
Yeah.
This is Bob.
So Sarah goes to the V Festival. She meets a bloke called Sam. She lives in Dorset. She knows that Sam lives in Hertfordshire, one of the home counties that Bob FM broadcasts to. That's all she knows about him, so she needs to find him, so she sends you, Amy Stevenson, an email.
An email saying that her phone died, so while she was at V Festival she couldn't get his number. Could we please help find him? His name's Sam, he's 25, 6'5", was with his friend George, is from Hertfordshire and is a dog trainer.
Said he was a dog trainer. Well, we'll find out in just a second. Because we've tracked him down thanks to Carolyn and Nia, who he works with. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Okay, let's just get one thing out of the way first. Are you a dog trainer?
Yeah.
Be truthful, Sam.
What? I am.
Really?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
What do you do?
I apologise for the lie.
What do you do?
I work at a company called Sodexo.
What do they do?
They're like a big purchasing procurement company.
Okay, so when you're chatting up Sarah, why did you tell her you were a dog trainer?
It's the first thing that came into my head.
Why didn't you tell her what you really do?
It was too long-winded at the time. I thought I'd give her something nice and easy to remember.
Yeah, and you also know that the ladies like blokes who work with animals.
Everyone loves animals.
Everyone loves animals. Okay. So she still thinks you train dogs, does she? As far as you know?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. So since that night at the V Festival, when you danced into the early hours of the silent disco, what contact have you had with Sarah?
None at all.
Okay. And how long has this been?
When was the V Festival? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
But you do fancy her?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a qualified yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't a better yeah either. These yeahs are not the kind of response we were hoping for.
Tomorrow should be a better response.
Well, let's hope so, because tomorrow things are happening. Amy, you've sorted this out. You're going to put them together on a date.
You have a full wedding date planned.
Wow.
Wait, a wedding date?
No. Sorry,
are we moving a little bit quickly here? He hasn't spoken to her for 2 weeks. He's only met her once.
Not wedding date. I'm so sorry. It could be a wedding.
Possibly.
But, you know...
Oh, you mean, Sam, you've no idea about this date we set up for tomorrow?
No, he knows nothing.
You know nothing? This is you...
I know nothing at all. I've been waiting for the phone call for the last 2 weeks.
This is the phone call?
Hang on, all right. Yeah, this is the... Now, Sam. I'm not the one that ran off and didn't give her your number. I'm trying to help you out here.
I know, I do apologise. I'm sorry.
So, we've got the date planned, finally. You are going to Wellstock Festival in Hertfordshire. Okay. You're going to see Miss Dynamite perform. You're going to see Nizloppy perform. You've got a whole day packed.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, because my thinking was, okay, so you met at a festival, you don't remember a lot of it, so how about recreating the experience? Now, I can't get Justin Timberlake in, but I can get Miss Dynamite.
Well, I like the way you work, Amy Stevenson. That's an excellent idea. Put them in the exact environment they were in when the flame was first ignited.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How does that sound?
And then that's not just it. Hold on. And then in the evening, you're going to the Cromwell Hotel in Stevenage for a romantic dinner for 2.
Wow.
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 That does sound romantic.
That does sound romantic.
Because it can't all be about drinking. You need to remember this date.
I do.
So I need to give you some...
Yeah, but they're going to have some glasses of wine, a little bottle of,
bottle of wine.
Le Gopenau or something, just over the meal, of course. That's hard to explain what that is. Yes, absolutely. So that's the meal, yes.
Yes.
And then?
And then it's up to you. And then it's up to you two. There is a room for Sarah.
There's a room
for Sarah because she's coming from Dorset. So
she lives in Dorset.
Stay at my house.
Yes, right. So she will have a hotel room.
Yeah, but Sam, you live in Hertfordshire, so I didn't.
Wait. Where is this hotel room?
At
the hotel where they're having dinner.
Yeah.
That's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Not at all, because Sarah is a classy girl. And Sam, if you even think about going up there, we're in trouble. You need to have
But it's up to them if they're young and, that's up to them. It's not like it's a first date. It's not like it's a first date.
Ah, but it is technically...
Not really, it's a second meeting. I think there's a
3-date rule,
at least. Is there?
3-date rule.
Well, I don't know. We can't tell them what to do. Things may take...
Technically, dinner at the Cromwell would be the 3rd.
There you go.
Sam,
there you
push
go.
It. You're trying already.
Yeah.
And everyone,
everyone
loves a dessert.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it now.
Sorry.
Stop it now. This is on the radio, you know.
I do apologise.
Okay. All right. So, that sounds good?
It does, yeah. It sounds really good. Thank you very much.
All right. And you're going to introduce them on stage, maybe?
more things that he doesn't even know about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to hear Monday morning.
Wear your best dressed, Sam.
On this show, you will be able to...
You've got more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't say
Okay, well, it kind of involves 5,000 people at a stage. You, Sarah, me, Laura, it'll all be fine.
All right. Yeah, don't worry about that, Sam. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it.
Brilliant.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk to you on Monday, eh?
Thank you very much.
Okay. We'll talk to you on Monday from the Cromwell Hotel. So, no. We'll talk to you on Monday. We'll find out what went on. Also, we'll see if we can get some audio from the date.
Yeah.
Are we talking hidden recording here? We don't.
No, let's just let them have a bit of fun.
All right, we'll let them have a bit of fun. We'll talk to Sarah in a bit on Bob FM.
Bob's Breakfast.
Amy thinks she had a near-death experience yesterday. It just turns out she's a bad passenger in a car.
It's not about the bad passenger. You're a horrific driver.
Yeah, I know. I'm a terrible driver. It doesn't bother me. What happened was, as you know, Dan was attempting a world record. He failed to live in a 24-hour supermarket for a number of days. He didn't even make it through the night without security catching him and throwing him out. But at lunchtime yesterday, we went to visit him at his home in the 24-hour supermarket, and we drove... I don't want to say... because the supermarket still don't know we did this and it was us. But all I'll say is we drove on the A1M. I won't say which direction we were heading, but if you remember, yesterday it was a bit rainy.
A bit rainy. It was torrential rain. The wind was awful. There was loads of traffic on the road. Massive lorries. You can't see where you're going. We're in your little Mazda. And
the Macmobile.
You've got your...
It's a safe car, the Macmobile. It's good.
You virtually skidded off the road.
When?
You spun round the corners. When we were going down the little lanes from Nebworth House.
Really?
Yes! Slamming on the brakes.
I never broke the speed limit. You
were going far too fast for those corners. You slammed on the brakes.
It's a 60 mile an hour limit there.
It shouldn't be. It's crazy. Through the puddles, out the puddles, round, slamming on the brakes because someone's coming the other direction.
Old Nebworth Lane is a bad road, though. It's a bad road.
It is.
It's a bad
windy.
road. There you go. So it's a bad road.
So you have to drive carefully down it.
I was driving carefully.
And you have to be aware of other passengers, of other people. I don't mind how you drive when I'm not in the car.
Something you need to know about the Macmobile. It isn't dual control.
I know.
That brake pedal you kept hitting?
Yeah.
That's not real. That's an imaginary brake pedal. How are you, Sarah?
I'm fine.
Now, you've had no contact with Sam since that night at the V Festival?
No, none at all.
Okay. Now, the only contact really is you heard him on the radio. Since you've heard him on Bob FM, have you changed your mind about him?
No, I haven't.
Oh. What is it about him that you like?
I don't know, there's loads of things I liked about him. He was, he was really funny and he was just really nice. We've gone really well.
Well, the good news is he isn't gay or married.
That's good.
Yes.
But he did admit he's not a dog trainer.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, now living in Dorset, you weren't able to hear him earlier this morning on Bob FM. Sorry, quite the revelation. He's not a dog trainer. He's an office waller.
Right. Okay.
But that's all right. Man in a suit. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
But he's already lied to you.
No, because he wanted to impress her. He obviously liked you that much that he wanted to impress you.
But he's a liar.
We'll let this one go.
Does that change your opinion of him, and so?
I don't know. I don't know.
A rift.
So, Sarah, do you want to know where you're going tomorrow on your date?
I do, yes. Please tell me.
Exciting times. I thought, because you met at the V Festival, we would send you to Wellstock Festival, which is just down the road in Stevenage, where you can just have a bit of fun and basically recreate V Festival, but in Hertfordshire at Wellstock.
Good acts on, too.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Dynamite.
Yes, Miss Dynamite and Miss Loppy, Chaz from Chaz and Dave. So, there's loads of people there. And it's VIP, so you got VIP tickets, you get to go backstage, you get to mix with everybody, meet everyone, and just generally enjoy yourself. And then in the evening, you're going to a beautiful hotel in Stevenage called Cromwell Hotel. They have a brand new menu, gorgeous food, so you get a really romantic meal, just the two of you, you and Sam, to be able to just enjoy yourselves. And then you have a room, the rooms are gorgeous, they've been refurbished, a room for you to stay the night as well, because obviously you're coming quite far, so you need somewhere to stay. And I didn't really want you shacking up with Sam on the first night, so I thought, right, if you had a nice
things go well, for, a couple of glasses of Chateau Le Gopinard, you never know.
No, not on the first date.
Good girl. It's not the first date, is the first date was a V Festival.
That was the meet.
Anyway, let's back up. Let's move away from this area.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable.
Class.
Yes, okay.
3 days, 3 dates, Sarah, at least.
So there might be another couple of little surprises along the way, but we really do hope you have fun.
Okay, thank you.
We'll look after you, and we'll get a full report on Monday morning.
Brilliant.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, find out how they got on Monday on Bob FM.
Bob's Breakfast with Hatfield House. Pay once and keep coming back all season. Visit hatfield-house.co.uk for details.
So whether you've lived through the awesome 80s or missed them, Isabel Hospice is going to make sure you experience the fun of the decade at their 80s-inspired Starlight Walk on Saturday the 13th of September. Don't miss out on the 10k walk. It starts at 8:30pm at Ware's Fanshawe Pool and Gym. And there'll be a musical warm-up, there's entertainment, bit of Domino's pizza, and even 80s-inspired merchandise. Like, do you remember the tutus, the leg warmers, and those dealy boppers?
Leg warmers never made sense to me. Why don't you just wear trousers? Why do you wear a skirt or shorts and then leg warmers when you could just wear trousers?
I don't know, but they feel good.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. I always feel like a dancer when I wear my leg warmers. I think it's from the programme Flashdance. She used to wear them. That's why they hit it off, because that was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I have another theory about the evolution of the leg warmer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you remember, at that time in the 80s, it was the same time that what in England we call the tank top came along. In America, tank top means something different, but here, the tank top is a sleeveless pullover. My theory is that a lot of people had regular pullovers and converted them to sleeveless pullovers by cutting the sleeves off and gave birth to the leg warmer.
Bob Longs with O2 Howard Centre, Welwyn Garden City. Drop in for a demonstration of the latest smartphones and tablets. Bob's Breakfast.